Hey guys, this is Maths Athlete. Welcome to the first lesson on core mathematics. For the first lesson we'll have surds because it's the easiest topic, and then as the videos proceed we'll go into the harder topics. Okay, so what is a surd? To distinguish what a surd is, let's discuss what something called rational numbers is. Okay, so rational numbers qualify for two things. The first thing is that it's a decimal. Now, of course, any number can be written in a decimal, but also written in a decimal and written in the form a over b, where a and b are integers. Okay, so that's what qualifies for rational numbers. Let's give a few examples. So I thought I'd use a different color. So say the reoccurring decimals such as 0.3 reoccurring, which can be written as a third. Sorry, let me just add, yeah. 0.5 can be written as a half. 0.6 reoccurring can be written as 2 over 3. And final example, we'll use a root. So root 4 equals root 2, which is the same as 2 over 1, which is a over b. So now let's move to rational numbers, and from here we'll work out exactly what a surd is. Okay, so irrational, mistake. Irrational numbers. So what is an irrational number? It is the complete opposite of a rational number. So it can be a decimal. So a decimal, but it cannot be written as a over b, where a is an integer and b is an integer. And just a reminder, integer just means whole number. This is the whole idea of advancing from GCSE. We don't use the word whole number anymore, we use the word integer. Okay, so now we can actually work out what a surd is. If we give a few examples of what a irrational number is, so a very common example is pi, which is 3.14 and so on. You cannot write this in the form a over b, where a and b are integers. So pi therefore is irrational. And so now this is where you come into surds. You cannot write root 2 in the form a over b. So you cannot, let's say that does not equal, where a and b are integers. Okay, and another one is root 3. Now root 4 can be written as 2, so it's not a surd and it's not irrational. So let's now exactly define the term surd. So the definition of a surd is expressions which involve root signs which are equal to irrational numbers, such as root 2 and the cube root of 6, are called surds. And it doesn't have to be only root 2 and the cube root of 6, those were just examples, but as long as they equal to irrational numbers and involve root signs, they are classified as surds. Let's go through a few examples. So decide whether the following is irrational or rational. Rational or irrational. pause the video. You can do them in your head, or you can write it down on paper, and press play, and we'll go through the answers. Okay, so I'm going to use a red pen, so I feel like a teacher. So the first one is simply irrational. We went over this in the first example. The second one is rational, because the root of 4 is 2. The square root of 64 is 8, so it's rational. The square root of 39 is something like 6.2, but as long as you know that it's not a perfect square, or it doesn't have a square root which is a decimal, a ending decimal, then it's irrational. So this is irrational. Pi, as we mentioned, is irrational. The cube root of 8 is just 2 times 2 times 2, so that's rational. Sorry. Okay, that looks wrong. Let's change that. Yes. Okay, so that is rational. This is the square root of 16 is 4. The square root of 81 is 9, so it's rational. Sorry, that's rational, rational. And this is finally irrational. If you got all of them right, it means you can proceed to the next step. The next episode we'll be talking about simplifying, manipulating surds, and stuff like conjugating and everything. So if you find these videos useful, subscribe, tune in for the next videos, and thanks for watching.